Jimmy Johnson's a Hall of Famer. It took too long for him to get in there. National championships, Dallas Cowboys, and he is joining us from the Keys, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. You know, Jimmy, I don't want to overreact. Coaches and quarterbacks have bad Sundays, and sometimes it's just, oh, hell, nothing's working. I was a little bothered with this, though, with Tampa. Jimmy, I couldn't figure out what the heck they were trying to establish. It wasn't a run game. You can lose, and it's okay. But, boy, I thought they were just cooked in coaching. What was your takeaway on their performance?
You know, Colin, I think this happens, you know, in professional football especially, occasionally in college football. But the talent level is so close that once you get into the season, you know, I think a team, the players start reading just how good they are and how they are going to win this game. And you know, they're just not up for it. And the opponent comes in there, takes a lot of chances, better prepared, and it just starts snowballing. I mean, you look on the telecast last night, everybody on the entire set that was predicted Tampa big win. You know, no one picked the Saints.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Saints have been hearing that all week long. They prepared better. They were emotionally more ready for the ball game. They were into it. They took some chances. And then once it started going against the Buccaneers, it just snowballed. It happens. It happened in the Pittsburgh Dallas game.
Yeah.
And so I think you see this on occasion. I don't think it's really indicative of the quality, the difference in the teams. I think if these two teams played 3 weeks from now, it could be a different outcome.
Yeah. You know, you get a lot. You know the Dolphins well and that part of the country well. And I'll tell you what, we were so impressed last year with Brian Flores. They know what they are. They play within themselves. They rarely get beat on bad plays. And in this league is all about quarterbacks and coaches. If you get a Jimmy Johnson and a Troy Aikman, you win Super Bowls. You get a Chuck Noll and a Terry, you win Super Bowls. So I said yesterday, It wasn't just Tua. I get a defensive coach. Tua's not going to be asked in his career to win wild shootouts. I really like the combination. What impressed you with Tua? What did you see you like, Jimmy?
I was impressed with his decision making, and I think, you know, really, you know, quality quarterbacks, you know, that may be the number one thing that you look for is decision making. Obviously, he can throw the football, but for only his second start, I mean, you got to realize it's been a long time since he's played football.
Yeah,
it's been a long time since he's had any kind of contact, and I thought he performed extremely well. He threw the ball well. He made good decisions. You know, he actually tucked the ball down and he ran a couple of times. He picked up some first downs. He threw his body into the end zone for a touchdown. I mean, he was impressive to me. And you're right, Brian Flores, they are a well-coached football team. I visited with Brian back in the offseason, him and the scouts and he's got it all together. He's got a handle on his players. I think they're going to get better and better. And they have a bunch of draft picks coming up.
Yep.
I think this is a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah. So I've struggled to put my arms around the Steelers all year because you know, Jimmy, I've seen this now for a decade where they look the part in the hotel lobby and they are big and they're emotional and they're physical. But sometimes the details, they play down to their competition. They're a little too emotional. What did you make of yesterday? I mean, did you ever have a game when you had the Super Bowl Cowboys and you literally struggled to get a team motivated because they just knew we got better players everywhere? I mean, can you look at this game and go, hey, it happens to a really good team?
Well, it never happened to me because I was such a really hard-driven guy. I never let them smile. In fact, I did my hardest coaching when we were big favorites. When we were going to play a team and it was competitive and it's a big rivalry, hey, all I did was the X's and O's. Hey, let's get ready to play. But when we were favored by a couple of touchdowns, like the Steelers were yesterday, that's when I had my thumb on them. I mean, that's when I was grinding. That's when I put in the extra time with the players. That's when we had more physical contact.
Yeah.
Getting ready for that particular game, because these players get comfortable. It's human nature. They get comfortable. The Steelers saw that they were a 14-point favorite. In fact, it was going up above that. People were saying it's going to be a complete blowout. And Gilbert, the new quarterback, came in there and made some good decisions. He threw the ball well. They took chances. They had a big kickoff return. They had the throwback on the kickoff. Then the Steelers tried to pooch kick it once on a kickoff. He ran it all the way back down. Dallas was much better prepared than the Steelers were. And that's why it was a close ball game. The Steelers are a better football team. And just like what we were talking about with the Saints and the Bucs, 3 weeks from now, if the Steelers played the Cowboys, they might beat them by 14 or 21.
Yeah.
But one team was ready to play yesterday, the other wasn't.
It's so interesting, Jimmy. When you're a football coach, football's like technology. Every couple years, it just changes. You have to be able to pivot. And I watch the Russell Wilsons and the Kyler Murrays. And a lot of times as a coach, you can't control them. They're doing stuff off script. Even if, and you were a coach, go back to Miami, the Cowboys, that you had a quarterback that you felt like you could corral a little bit. And I watch Kyler and I watch Russell Wilson. I think, what would Jimmy Johnson do knowing that they could do stuff you couldn't even teach? But sometimes bad stuff happens with that, Jimmy.
Well, yeah, it was, we tried to have a precision type of offense.
Yes.
We didn't have players that were going to be freewheeling and do it on their own. People wanted me to compare Emmitt Smith to Barry Sanders. I think Barry Sanders is the most talented back I've ever seen. But Barry Sanders, he's, if we had a hole off tackle, Barry Sanders is liable to run the other way. But with Emmitt, I made sure you run right exactly where you're supposed to run.
Right.
Because we were going to block it that way. Now, Barry Sanders might lose 5 yards. He might lose 10 yards. But he's liable to go the wrong direction and score. Because he had that God-given talent. Kyler Murray, he's got that God-given talent. And so sometimes you just have to live with it. If that's going to be your guy, you've got to live with it. They're going to win more games than they're going to lose, or else you'd have a different quarterback in there. Yeah. Again, you've got to understand who you have. Like, for instance, Vinny Testaverde was unbelievably talented quarterback. Big, strong, could throw the ball. But it was very important for Vinny to have a precision type offense. Everybody had to be exactly where they were supposed to be. Bernie Kosar, you throw him out there on a sandlot with a bunch of ragnots, and he's going to make things happen. And so you have to understand your talent. You got to understand, do you have a Troy Aikman or do you have a Kyler Murray? If you've got a Kyler Murray, then you've got to deal with that. The receivers have got to deal with that. They've got to be ready for the scramble. They've got to be ready for him to break the line of scrimmage and run. If you've got a Troy Aikman, make sure if it's supposed to be a 12-yard out, you run exactly 12 yards and you go out. And so you've got to understand your talent.
Yeah. Finally, about a minute left. Jimmy Johnson, the Hall of Famer, one of my favorite people I've ever met in football. I didn't know if John Gruden could be out of coaching for a decade and come back and win. I didn't know. Jimmy, that's a long time to be out of any business. I got to tell you, they draft well. Derek Carr's never been better. Are you a little surprised by how Gruden's fit and come back?
The 10 years, the time off didn't bother me. I wondered, just if he would have the drive, and he's got the drive.
Yeah.
I think Mike Mayock has helped tremendously with some of the talent as far as acquiring talent. But John, he is a grinder now. He is going to spend night and day. And, I've always people come down here to the Keys and they'll say, hey, I'm looking for an assistant coach, or I'm looking for a head coach, or I'm looking for this. I said, give me a smart guy that's passionate, that wants to work hard, will put in the extra hours. Hey, and I'm fine. Now, as far as having somebody that's already qualified, if they're not passionate, if they don't work hard, I don't want them.
Yeah.
I want a smart guy that wants to work hard and is passionate about what he does. John Gruden's that way. He's smart. He works hard. He's very passionate about what he does. So I'm not surprised at the success that he's having.
I love having you on, Coach. I learn something every time. I just love having you on. And you may be 3,000 miles away in the Keys. Go out, play some golf, go fishing, go have fun. Thanks for taking time for us.
All right, Colin, I'm not going to play golf, but I might go fishing. We just got over a big storm last night.
That's right.
As soon as this wind dies down, I'll be out there.
I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
All right, Colin.
All right. It's just a really good guy. I love talking to Jim. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.